From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
That's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Roz and Mocha.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good,
buddy.
man. Welcome to FML. Saad, you wrote this. Hey, Roz and Mocha, fix my life. How do you accept that everything happens with time, like with work? I know I'm a first-year apprentice and still have 4 years to go. I'm licensed, but it's hard seeing people your age doing big things and then your parents reminding you of it.
Oh, no. How old are you, Assad?
I'm 28.
28.
All right. Still living at home?
Yes.
And do you hear about that from your parents, about still living at home?
Not living at home, but like people my age buying houses, moving out, all the big stuff, having their own car and all that stuff.
So do you feel that this is just not what's happening currently, but this is all based on decisions that people made years ago? And that maybe you made the wrong decisions?
Yeah.
Or is it all the pressure from your parents? Like you think you're fine with everything? Okay.
Sorry. It's pressure from my parents too, but also like I've been through different programs in college, and then I finally got into this apprenticeship for becoming an electrician.
Yeah.
And it's just that my parents always constantly remind me, like, time was wasted and stuff, and people your age are further in life. Mm-hmm. And if you had made decisions prior or earlier, then you would have been in a better place. And it constantly, it's like
Which is true.
Brings your energy down or something. It doesn't demotivating or something.
It's true, and you understand that too, right? Like, I'm sure, I don't know what decisions you made or what choices you made that sort of got you to where you are today. But I will say this, like, it's not like you made bad choices and wasted your time, and now you're sitting here with nothing. Like, you're just a little bit behind your peers, right?
Yeah.
And to want to go into, being an electrician and go through that and be get your apprenticeship done and everything else, like you're doing all the right things. It's just going to take some time. Eventually, things will even out. But because of the choices you made years ago, you put yourself behind in the sort of view of comparing yourself. And I was really bad with this. I was always comparing myself, and everything was a friggin' competition between me and anyone. Like, it didn't matter if they weren't even in my own industry. Like, I would feel competitive against somebody who was like my age, who got a promotion in a field of work that I actually knew nothing about. Like, I was so enraged with competition and feeling like inferior, and that I wasn't taking, things were getting there fast enough, all of these things. But then you realize, as long as you can live by the decisions you're making in this moment, right? Which it sounds like you're doing the right thing by getting the apprenticeship, things will eventually even out.
Okay. Yeah.
I have nothing to add. That was perfect.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
It's just that,
you can't go back in time.
Yeah.
And your parents can't keep making you feel bad about decisions that you made in the past, because believe me, there's nobody who feels worse about them than you. There's nobody who's more aware of them than you. But the only thing you can do is try and course correct, which it sounds like you're doing.
And remind them of that. Can't change the past. I'm doing stuff now to better my future, right? That's the only thing. Hope that helped, man.
Hey, man, thank you guys.
All right, buddy.
Okay, bro.
All the best.
Yeah, take care.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Yo, Andrade, what's up, man? It's Roz and Mocha.
How's it going, Roz and Mocha?
Good. Why are you here?
How do I bring my family back together when grief is pulling us apart?
Oh, Andrade wrote us this. Hey, Roz and Mocha, fix my life. My brother passed away a year ago. Sorry about that, man. and it's been a tough time ever since. I've been trying my best to support my family and be there for my parents, but they always seem to want to be alone. Every time I want to talk to them, they mention how much they miss my brother, and I'm at a loss for words. I don't know how to handle that. I'm going through things myself too. I miss him deeply, but I'm still finding joy in the things that I love, like running my co-ed soccer team. Meanwhile, my parents seem too depressed to do anything, and my sister has completely disappeared. Instead of our family coming together, it feels like we're drifting apart. What can I do to change this?
Dude, so sorry for your loss, man. That's just a horrible thing for a family to go through.
How old was your brother?
He just turned 20.
20.
What happened?
Jesus.
I mean, if you're cool with saying, like, what happened?
He has a rare disease called AT.
Gotcha.
So it affects his motor and immune system and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was in a wheelchair most of his life, and let me tell you, he's one of the happiest kids I know.
Yeah.
Buddy. So sorry.
So he passed. That's geez. Grief is a wild thing, man, because everybody goes through it differently, you know? And you can't force somebody to be on your level or to go through things at your same speed. And the only thing you can do is, be there for them in whatever way they need you. Like, I know that you're now at a point where you can, look to things that give you joy, and maybe your relationship with your brother was different than theirs. It's very different for, losing a sibling than losing a child, and your whole family's going through all this, and you're not all going to bounce back together at the same time. It doesn't happen. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Have you suggested, or I don't know, have your parents or even your sister or you gone to therapy at all?
They do group therapy, actually.
Yeah, like grief counseling?
Yes, with other families and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what about solo? Because sometimes I find in those group situations, those group scenarios, it tends to get a little bit awkward, and you may not want to open up and share as much as you would with just one person sitting across from you, right? A professional?
Right. I'm not sure if they're into that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe suggest it, see what they say. But I think, Roz is right. They got to kind of take it on their own time, man.
Yeah, I thought he would say something like that.
Yeah, because the more and more that you push them in one direction, the more they're going to feel uncomfortable and push away.
Right.
And the other thing that does happen, and the other thing that you have to watch out for is that when people are moving at different speeds, when there's a sort of collective grief, right, is that they may see you, as you said, finding joy in the things that you still love, like running, the soccer team, right? Like you have to protect yourself in these situations, because oftentimes, depending on the family dynamic, them seeing you do this, what they see that as you not caring as much as they do, right?
Sometimes what I feel.
Yeah, sometimes family looks at you and they're like, "Why aren't you as miserable as we are?"
Exactly.
Right, and then you're dealing with grief, but also guilt at that point. Right? So what I'm saying is, so you have to take care of yourself, but you have to make sure you're there for them. And then hopefully at some point you guys can all kind of meet back on the road. But right now you're scattered because everything's going through all this stuff, and you're finding joy and you're moving on and you're grieving in the way that works for you. They're doing the same thing. Right. Now, as Mocha said, therapy is a great way to sort of talk to somebody about it, because maybe they feel that the way you are right now, that they can't talk to you about it because you're not still down in it like they are.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. Yes.
But you shouldn't feel bad, though. That's what I think that we want to stress the most here.
Yeah, and unfortunately I do. That's the problem too.
Yeah, don't feel bad for having good days.
Right.
Don't let anybody else make you feel bad for having good days.
Right. You always have the right things to say, Roz.
Hey, listen, we've all been there, bro.
Yo, what about me?
Yeah.
Michael, you're all right. I just kidding.
Damn, Andrade.
I just kidding.
Trying to sympathize.
I love you both.
Let me guess, that's a coping mechanism?
No.
Andrade, Sending you so much love, bro, to you and your family, and condolences again. Okay.
Appreciate you guys.
I would love it if you taking shots at Mocha was a coping mechanism, because then we could have you on all the time.
No, shut up. No.
Call us when you're having a bad day.
No, please don't.
I'd love to, yeah.
Later, homie.
Later, guys. Thank you.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is,
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Amber, girl, what is up? It's Roz and Mocha.
oh my gosh, good morning.
Wow, for a new mom, you, girl, sound very chipper, very excited. Let everyone know why you're on FML.
How do I set boundaries when everyone wants to steal my babies first?
Oh, wow. How do you set boundaries when everyone wants to steal your babies first? That sounds diabolical. You wrote us this. Hey, Roz and Mocha, I had a baby last year and she's already one. She's the first baby on both sides of the family. So every time she hits a first, someone in the family wants to be the one to experience it. At first, I was okay with this because I wanted to show appreciation for the help with the baby. But now I'm starting to feel like, can I have some firsts with my own child?
Damn. Amber, can you give us some examples of what kind of firsts either side of the family wanted to experience?
Oh, I have tons. Okay, so her first solace, my mother-in-law was like, oh, it would just be so nice if I could do it.
Okay. So what did you say to that? You were like, cool?
Yeah, well, she was watching her a lot, so.
Okay.
And then her first bath, my mom was with me for the first week and for the first 2 weeks. So she's like, oh, it would be just so great. You know, I bathed all my kids. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what else?
We had an event where we were wearing like Indian outfits, and my sister was like, oh, it'd be so nice if I could match her.
Oh,
wow.
First matching outfit. So have you had any type of conversation with any of your family about this yet? Like even with your sister?
Yeah, well, I'll have like indirect conversations where I'll say like, oh, I have a friend who...
Oh, no.
No.
Amber, you can't do that. What does your husband think about all this?
Well, he's an only child, so to him, he's just like, it's fine. Like, yeah.
But you want to experience some of firsts.
Why are you telling them everything? Like, why are you letting them know when
guilt?
things
I bet you it's guilt.
when things are coming up?
Yeah, it's guilt because like, it was really hard. She had like colic, right? So it was really hard to take care of her, and like they're always willing to help. And
of course,
we miscarried our first, and they were like really supportive. So, it's so hard.
Before she hits a first, why don't you just lie and say, "Hey, she did this today," and then they won't be clamoring to be the one to do it.
So I did that. She did her like.
Let me guess, you got in trouble.
I did. I got in so much trouble.
By who? Let me guess, your mother-in-law.
No, it was actually my siblings.
Really? What was it you lied about and what'd they say?
Okay, it was something I couldn't even control. It was her first steps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the babies just do that.
Yo, so
Like,
what? Your
you can't-
siblings got mad that they weren't there for the kids' first steps?
Yeah, they're like, you could have recorded it. You could have called us. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yo, families are crazy, huh? When it
Yeah.
comes to babies?
Yeah.
Families
God.
are crazy.
And it is tough when you have the first grandchild on either side. That's what my kid was, the first grandchild on either side.
Yeah.
And I remember when we had Roxy, the thing that we did, and you can't go back in time, but I think that it sort of just set the precedent a little bit, right? Which was everybody was allowed to be there for day of birth, right? Like if you wanted to be there, all that stuff. We wanted a bunch of family there, everything else. And then when we took Roxy home, we had no family for 2 weeks because we needed that 2 weeks.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't need like my mom or mother-in-law or a friend or whatever to come in and be like, do this, do this, do this. We needed to figure it out. Catherine needed to figure it out, right? She needed to build that confidence in those 2 weeks. And so in that 2 weeks, we were able to do all of that on our own. So when people did show up, when they did come back, things were pretty set. We had our routines. We didn't need a lot of advice, right? We didn't need the help. We just needed them to be cool grandparents, right? And to be there and to offer the support. I didn't need to be taught something at that point, right?
But so what does Amber do in this situation when everyone's like clamoring
this is the hard thing. And,
first things.
And Amber, you have to do what 99% of the people that call FML have to do, which is you got to have a difficult conversation with your family.
But what do I say?
Exactly what you're telling us, exactly what's bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That you want some firsts with your own child.
Okay.
And that you don't always, you're not always going to be on your phone to record everything. And things are going to happen when they're not there. And you are more than happy to share those moments after it happens.
And there's going to be a lot of firsts, okay? Like these will continue throughout the years. It's something as simple as like, my God, like the first time when the kid is 9 or whatever, and the first time you bring him to a live theater show.
Sure.
You can give that to the mother-in-law. At these stages, what it is that it's not about like the first, it's that you are not building those sort of core memories with you and your daughter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you need those to sort of carry you forward, right?
Yo, Amber, I got a question real quick before we wrap this up. How big of a fight did you guys get into, or how much of a discussion happened for your baby's first Christmas?
We didn't do Christmas. She's 1. Who cares, right?
What about birthday?
Oh, my gosh. We planned a trip. Like, it was just us 3. We were going to go to Mexico, and then they all showed up.
What do you mean? Yo, they showed up? Like without you knowing, or they just said we're booking a trip too, and then you couldn't say nothing about it?
Well, we were like, we're going to Mexico, and they're like, oh, that sounds great. We'll come too. Who's your travel agent?
Oh.
And then my husband was just like, oh, okay, here.
Oh,
wow.
No.
So, okay.
Damn,
and it's not about the baby's firsts, right? And I think that if you maybe don't frame it as the baby's firsts, because
I think it's boundaries. Boundaries is the combo.
Yeah, that's going to hit real hard, and I think that's going to be really upsetting for people. I would use the Mexico thing, right, as a great example that you need your own space.
Okay, love it. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you going to ask me?
Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Okay, so it was Mocha for so long, and then
Amazing. Thank you.
No. And I started messaging you guys in your DMs, and Mocha never responds to me, but Roz always does. So pants down, Roz.
Who are you on IG?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, look at girl, you sent me 2 things.
Other stuff probably disappeared.
Liked it.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Love you, Amber.
Bye, guys.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Darcy, what's going on? It's Roz and Mocha.
Hey, how are you today?
Good, man. Darcy, why are you here on Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life?
How do I save my friend from his wife's dangerous affair?
Oh, wow. Darcy, you wrote, says, hey, Roz and Mocha, Fix My Life. I recently found out that a close friend of mine, whom I've known since high school, is going through a heartbreaking situation. His wife has been cheating on him for 2 years, and the man she's involved with has been sending my friend explicit photos and daily threats. Ooh. Sometimes this guy even shows up at places where my friend and his family are, like the mall. He also carries a knife. My friend's wife seems unfazed by the situation, and I feel completely helpless. I don't know how I can help, and I'm unsure what the next step is. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Sorry if this is a bit scattered. So your friend is still with his wife?
Yes, they are.
And he knows about the affair?
Yes, he's known for a couple of years now.
And is she still with this other guy as well?
Says she's not, but then he catches her going back and forth through messaging with him still.
But if this is a dangerous situation like what you're describing, the guy's carrying... You said, is it the guy that's carrying the knife or your friend now?
No, the guy.
Yeah,
the guy. So like if it's a dangerous situation like that, have the cops been called?
He doesn't really want to go to the cops because he's kind of in hopes that he can fix this and they can move on and go back to being happy, which I don't know who would ever think that in this circumstance.
Yeah.
So they have kids?
Yeah, they got one son. Yeah.
And how old's the son?
I'm going to say 5 or 6.
Okay, so obviously he's trying to keep the family together and thinking he can fix it all, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. With everything he knows, he's still optimistic, even though she was seeing this guy on the side for 2 years, and he still catches her talking to this guy, but yet he's still optimistic that everything's going to kind of work out in the end. And obviously, maybe it sounds like to me the wife had some sort of uncomfortable conversation with her side ting, and he feels that he's now losing out on his girlfriend of 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she made tons of promises to him, and maybe he's a little off, kilter and not all that right. And he's fighting for his girlfriend, so he's trying to intimidate her husband. Like, the whole thing is messy.
Do you know if the husband had a conversation with the boyfriend?
Numerous times, but it always turns into the side piece wanting to meet up and fight him, and and the side piece wanting to basically chop his head off.
Yeah,
because the side piece has made it very clear that he is not going away.
Okay. Oh, restraining order, bro.
So you asked how you can help, right? The thing that you have to say to your friend, right, is that this ain't about him. And this ain't about the cheating wife. The only person that this entire situation is about is the 5-year-old kid, right?
Correct.
And if your friend is so optimistic about keeping and trying to salvage something with his wife, it's going to be to the detriment of the boy. And every day he doesn't do the right thing and report this and end it, he's not putting himself in danger. He's only thinking about his own happiness as opposed to the threats that could come into their world and affect their child. And he's got to put the kid first. He's not thinking the right way.
Absolutely. And I've tried to implement that to him, but he always comes back, and he's not wrong. It's the only thing he does know. They've been together since high school, and it's his first girlfriend and all that. So, it's the only thing he knows. He just doesn't want to be alone either, because he doesn't know what that life's like as well. And
he's scared.
He's scared. Where he's coming from there.
Yeah, but he's going to have to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Because now it's the safety of the family, right?
He's going to have to figure that out. He's got to get away from that woman.
Oh, absolutely. They even share locations with each other.
Yeah, if his wife...
Wait, the wife and the boyfriend?
The wife and the side piece.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, bro, it's a dangerous situation altogether. He's got to get away from her, and I truly believe you need to convince him to call the cops and set up a restraining order or something.
I think the wife wants them to fight.
Or it's either she wants the husband out of the way, and so she can go off with the side piece.
Yeah. But she just doesn't have the guts to do it, right? Because she doesn't want to be the mom who walked out on her kid, right?
Exactly.
Right? I don't know how you frame it other than this whole thing is so devastating for a child. And if he thinks that they're somehow going to get past this and live life happy when she's been having a boyfriend for 2 years on the side and still sharing location with them so he can keep tabs on her, it's not.
No wonder he's showing up at the mall.
This is not a healthy place for a 5-year-old.
Do any of your other friends know, Darcy?
No, I'm
you're the only one. All right, so you got some conversations to keep having with your friend, man.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
Outside of going to the police, because I've tried to drill that in his head. Is there another way I could be do this, don't do that type of thing? Because
I think having the conversation that it's the safety of their child is something that's never been brought up before, and maybe that will sink into him.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and if he doesn't want to talk rationally, right? Play it out for him. Okay, so what happens if this goes perfectly well? If this goes perfectly well, maybe the guy gets discouraged. The woman realizes that she made terrible mistakes. She's rethinking the family. They go to therapy. They fix it, and life is sort of good, right? That's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is that this guy kills him.
And that's what I'm worried for.
So that's the other end.
I think having those conversations that Roz recommended is the way to go.
Sounds good, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Darcy. All the best, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a good morning.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10
on Kiss 92.5
KISS925.com
or download the Seeker app.